And then the other time was when I moved to Australia, and
yes,
David did. And I was.
And you were in Melbourne. That's right, because David's in Perth. Yes.
I was very fortunate to work for someone who is still a friend, who's a neuropsychiatrist, ironically enough, called Dan Lubman. But Dan Lubman is a wonderful and inspirational figure who is not a part of the traditional clinical orthodoxy and is very critical of how limited traditional treatment models are. You know, he would start by saying, well, our biggest problem is that nobody wants treatment, evidenced by the fact that it's typically 4 to 5 years after the onset of dependence before anyone turns up at our doors. This is not a good sign for how desirable we are to the world. And he was, as a kind of fellow outsider, he was happy to go for critical, challenging, innovative ways of thinking. So we had a wonderful kind of 24-hour telephone and online help service. So the idea that it was just this specialist clinical approach was ditched. You know, we developed this really nice 2 to 6 session alcohol-based intervention. We did lots of stuff that was really creative, and he helped me set up Recovery Academy Australia, allowed us to host it at Turning Point. It was a lovely model, but I think they are about personalities. It was escaping from the world of drug and alcohol, addiction services, medical departments, psychiatry departments. Has really given me, and I've been lucky that I've been a kind of an academic traveller who has found a few flags of convenience in homes, and to the extent that I'm cynical about addiction treatment services, and especially about addiction science, I'm even more cynical about universities. So they really are flags of convenience for me now.
And they are, what was the word you used? They have become, you talked about industrialization. Well, it's a whole nother thing that we probably don't need to talk to bore our recovery friends on here about, but they've also been down the same route of commercialization, businessization,
And so, well, you're as old as me, and you'll remember when universities were places that unique characters like John Davis were encouraged and allowed to flourish.